Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation, Saturday, January the 22nd, Feast of St. Vincent, and it's also Our Lady Saturday. Every Saturday is devoted to Our Lady. So from 2 Samuel, we're kind of jumping to the end of Saul's life. Somebody comes from the camp of Saul to David and his forces. David says to him, "Where have you come from?" Long and short of it is, the army fled from the battle, but also many of the army fell and died, and Saul and his son Jonathan also died. And then David genuinely expresses sorrow because he's never had any hate for Saul. Saul had an insane jealousy for him that actually sought to kill him, but David never hated Saul, never wished him harm, which is truly remarkable and an example for us, because many times when people hate us or they've got some insane jealousy, we tend to give it right back, or we can't, we tend to just give it right back or seek ways to get back at them. But David never does this, and it's something we should pay attention to. And he didn't have the 7 sacraments. You and I have the 7 sacraments. Sometimes we Catholics can be horrible examples. We can be great examples too, but that's what we're called destroyal towards, is being that alter Christus, that other Christ. And then he sings this beautiful, he mourns for Saul, but he also sings this beautiful, almost like an ode. It's short, at least what's captured here is short. "I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan." Because he really did love Jonathan. Jonathan and David had a profound friendship. And, David actually owed his life to Jonathan. Jonathan was quite willing to give up his place in the kingdom for David. He had such love and respect for David. These two were truly friends of the heart. And it's very, very profound. And I think it's actually misunderstood by a lot of people today who put some perverted things into this. It's sickening, actually. It's people who have no understanding of what true or authentic friendship is. These two truly love one another. So my brother Jonathan, greatly beloved were you to me. Your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. Women. How the mighty have fallen, and the weapons of war perished. So, in saying this, he's not saying anything sexual at all. He's talking about true eros, the love of friendship, and self-sacrificial love, agape. It's not romantic love. There's several different kinds of love, and we in our erotic infused culture, because of Freud and all his nonsense, or at least how he's been interpreted or misused, tend to put sex into everything, lust into everything. This is a good, holy friendship. And it's something that if you are blessed with this, give thanks to God for it. Somebody who truly is almost like another self that you can trust. Many times for people who are married, should be their spouse. I can't say it's always that way, but ideally it is that way. That person is kind of a reflection of you. But this can happen with a woman to a woman. It's nothing romantic, or a man to a man. Nothing romantic. It's one of those things that tends to happen. It just seems to click. And there is intentionality, there is time spent with each other, getting to know each other, but it's usually quite rare. And it's something we should truly treasure. Treasure if you have that in your life. And always pray that God will bless it, make it holy, and help it to endure throughout your entire lives. Okay, so in the gospel, it's a short one. Jesus is busy. His schedule was full. When the family heard it, they went out to restrain him. And for people who are saying he has gone out of his mind. Why? Because the crowds were so great that they could not even eat. So, Jesus was misunderstood even by his own family members. Why? Because he was so committed to the Father's will. Now, Jesus didn't neglect eating. He didn't neglect sleeping. But these were secondary. These were secondary to the mission he was called to perform. And they should be in our own life. Many times we make, eating and entertainment much more important than anything else. And it's something that, we need to be very careful to avoid in our own life. You know, people make family gatherings more important than going to Mass. And they're not. Family gatherings are great. They're a real blessing, but they're not more important than going to Mass. Or, you know, having kids involved in sports and music classes or language classes or whatever, more important than going to Mass. They're not more important than going to Mass. Or learning how to pray or learning about their faith. These things are good to do, very good to do. But if they can't be scheduled, they should be scheduled, I should say, at a time that is not in conflict with their making God the most important thing in their life. You know, that's what's so important. Like, so Jesus was busy. He had lots of people coming to him, and he was willing to deny himself food or even the need for sleep, but he did sleep. You know, he sent the crowds away eventually. He knew that the apostles needed time of rest, but we're also here for a purpose, and the purpose is not to be on the beach, as it were. You know, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the beach, but our purpose is not, in other words, a lifelong vacation. It's a vocation. We're called to do something, to fulfill a mission. And you know, John Paul II, one time, he was in the plane going somewhere with Cardinal Ratzinger was in the plane, and clearly the Pope was tired, you know, because he pushed himself and he pushed himself and he pushed himself. And Cardinal Ratzinger, he was praying his breviary, and I guess he was fighting sleep. Cardinal Ratzinger said to him, "Holy Father, why don't you please go take a nap, you know? The breviary will wait." And John Paul II said to him, you know, I have lots of time to rest, you know, in the next life. This is not just pie in the sky stuff. This is a man dedicated to the work of the Lord. He took his sleep, but he pushed himself, okay, and he lived to be in his 80s, and he was shot, you know, I mean, all the stuff he did, and he lived a good lengthy life by any standards, and packed, you darn right it was packed. Look where he is now, he's in heaven. So you and I, sometimes we just take the easy path, and we need to be careful not to do this. Take your rest, absolutely, enjoy entertainment and all that, but remember first, what is my mission in life? Am I fulfilling my mission? Do I ever feel, you know, that there's just not enough time in the day to fulfill what the Lord wants me to do? And we really need to push ourselves, make time to pray. I'll keep saying that. And all the other stuff will take care of itself. God bless you.